up, guys? This is Richard from A Man About Style. Today we have a treat for you. We are at the Sound Hotel in Seattle, Belltown, a tapestry collection by Hilton. And we're just going to be going over some hotel etiquette tips. We're here with Bryan Everly. And could you explain what is your job here at the Sound?
Absolutely, Richard. I am the Director of Sales and Marketing here at the Sound Hotel.
So, as far as like etiquette goes, what are some things that kind of go missing? I know when I check in, I don't always know how to interact with staff, what is appropriate, and how can I make my stay more enjoyable?
That's a great question. So my advice is always to be yourself. You're here as a guest. We are here to serve you. So it is our mission to make you feel at ease and comfortable and to welcome you to your home for a few days. So really, we are at your disposal. We're here to serve, to help you meet your objectives of your stay.
I definitely understand that. What's kind of like the best way to even get like an upgrade? Is it the best way to kind of complain your way there? Is it to sugarcoat something? Kind of how would that process?
Well, I love where you're coming from, and the days of being able to flirt or charm your way into an upgrade are fewer and far between, similar with the airlines.
Makes sense.
As hotels embrace technology, for example, with Hilton, we have our Hilton Honors app, which allows you as a guest, if you're a Hilton Honors member, to check in 24 hours prior to arrival.
Wow.
So it takes out all of the ambiguity of doing it all at the front desk. So 24 hours prior to your check-in, you get a text message through the app asking you to pre-register. You get to go in and to personally select your room type. You will be able to see a floor plan and choose your room. So it gives you the control to choose your room, choose your upgrade, and to confirm it at the time, 24 hours prior to arrival. We also have digital keys, so it's the same technology as the room key that you get at the front desk.
Right.
So if you are the type of person who doesn't necessarily want to interact with the front desk, you have the option to check in, get your digital key, and to open your room with a smartphone. So you can go bypass the front desk and go straight to your room and never have to interact with the front desk.
Yeah, that definitely makes it a lot simpler and sometimes antisocial, and definitely just probably want to go get refreshed after a long day's travel, even from traveling from work, or even for pleasure if you're with a family of some sort.
Absolutely, that brings up a good point. So you're talking about travel personas, right? Your every trip that you take is different, and you're different on every trip. So when you're traveling for business, you have different wants, needs, expectations than you do when you're traveling for leisure or with your family. And trip personas can change within one stay. So a lot of people can travel for business the first part of the week, and their family arrives for the weekend. So it shifts from a business trip to a pleasure trip. So your needs and wants are constantly changing. So my best recommendation is always to communicate. Really introduce yourself to the staff, to the front desk, start a conversation, let them know who you are. And again, we are in the hospitality industry, so it is our joy to connect with you and to help you create a memorable experience. We're in the experiential business, so any type of communication feedback that we get in the moment is the best.
I know you don't have any problems here, but from time to time, I complain about a bad stay. And who should I complain to, or what is the hierarchy of a complaint?
Thank you, Richard. Well, first and foremost, it's never complaining, it's feedback. Feedback is a gift. We can't improve our services without that feedback. So you're doing us a favor by complaining. The best way to do it is to be immediate. Pick up the phone, dial 0, and ask to speak to a manager and let them know what's happening. And most hotels are very responsive and will address the situation immediately.
Okay, so then just for instance, kind of what, should I go straight to a manager? Should I call the GM? Like who is my point of contact, and what would you say would be an escalated situation?
Just pick up the phone and dial 0.
Okay.
And the person that you're speaking to, the operator or the front desk, can assess the situation for you.
Okay.
And they will, in turn, connect you with the appropriate person. If you're having issues with your plumbing, your toilet,
yeah,
they'll connect you with an engineer.
Okay.
That can resolve the situation quickly. If it's something with housekeeping, they're going to connect you with a room attendant or the housekeeping manager.
Awesome.
If it's a bigger issue, or if it's an issue that has not been addressed in a timely manner, then it's appropriate to talk to the hotel manager or the front desk supervisor, or even the director of sales. Okay. If you're part of a group.
No, that definitely makes sense, and that kind of gives me as a customer some feedback, and like, all right, is this being handled appropriately in the right amount of time? On our end, both ends, so I kind of know how to assess in my feedback. And I know you brought up housekeeping. One thing that I know is a part of staying in a hotel, but not a lot of people practice, like, who do you tip? Is it just the maitre d'? Is it housekeeping? Like, who are some of the staff that get left out, but in theory we really are supposed to take care of in a part of our stay?
Great. Anyone who gives you great service, anybody who has made an impact on your stay, would appreciate a tip. So doormen, the valet, you don't necessarily tip front desk agents unless you feel that their service has warranted a tip. Housekeepers, it's usually customary to leave $5 to $10 a day.
Okay.
And it's nice to tip on a daily basis, because the room attendant is not necessarily the same room attendant for the entire duration of your stay.
No, that makes sense. I definitely didn't know that. So that's interesting to hear that.
I wouldn't tip an engineer, but you can tip an engineer.
Right.
Again, anyone who's provided great service. And a lot of times, a thank you in the moment is also a tip.
Okay.
Right?
And then in the case of like a housekeeper, should you just leave the cash out, or should we put it in an envelope? Kind of what is the process so it gets to the right person?
That's also a very good question. You can write a little note and leave it on the bed, or leave it next to the bed. Okay. Just want to make sure that you leave a note that says this is a tip for housekeeping.
Okay.
Or sometimes housekeepers leave a card, and you can leave that tip with the card.
Okay. Awesome.
And you'll get, if you leave it in the wrong spot and you come back and it's still there, then you left it in the wrong spot.
Just take it in the stay and give it to an attendant. Would that be an appropriate way as well?
That's also an appropriate way, yes. If you've had the same room attendant the duration of your stay and you want to acknowledge them and thank them, you can definitely do that.
Okay, awesome. And noticing this beautiful room, I know when people stay, I've stayed with people that like to take things as far as like shampoos and soaps. But what are some of the things you're not supposed to take from a room?
Don't take the lamps. Don't take any of the furniture. Don't take any of the bedding.
Is a bathrobe okay? No?
It depends. It depends on the bathrobe. If there is a price tag on it, you can take it, and they'll just charge it to your room. They're not complimentary.
Right.
Bathrobes are very expensive.
Yeah.
Towels are very expensive.
That makes sense.
And there are a lot of brands that have sundry or gift shops that sell the products that are in the rooms, so they encourage you to purchase. Okay. But there's usually a price list.
Okay.
And just be expected to pay for anything that's not a toiletry.
Awesome. That is definitely very helpful. So Seattle is a very animal-friendly city. What would you suggest the etiquette be for someone who's traveling with a pet?
Sure, if you're traveling with a furry four-legged family member, let the hotel staff know that you're traveling with a pet. be prepared to pay a cleaning deposit. And the reason that hotels collect deposits and charge for a pet is because we have to take extra measures in cleaning the room post-stay. Even if your pet is immaculate and is hypoallergenic, we still need to provide a clean and fresh room to the next guest checking in. So we have to collect those service fees in order to make sure that the rooms are free of any pet dandruff that may be left over from your furry family member's stay.
Makes sense. So it's definitely, be considerate with your animals.
Good point. And if you have a barker, please respect, be aware of the fact that your guest room is surrounded by, there are people sleeping in the room next to you. So bring a crate. Arrange a doggy sitter, a doggy walker. The wonderful thing about the Sound Hotel is that we are located across the street from rover.com, and you can upload their services onto your app and have somebody come over and walk your dog while you're staying here.
Hey.
If your service dog is not with you.
No, that's definitely very helpful. And then transition. I know a lot of people like to get married in hotels or even propose for all the single men out there. How would you set up, like a proposal, stay on a staycation where the staff wouldn't get mad at you, or how could you get them to help you in an easier way so that it doesn't take away from the job that they have at hand?
Sure. That all starts at pre-planning. Choose a hotel that has a reputation for doing exceptional weddings and has an amazing weddings and special events planning team. Give them advance notice. Let them know what you're thinking. Don't just drop it on them. A lot of our hotels have beautiful grounds and beautiful public spaces. Those public spaces may or may not be available at the time of your proposal. So reach out to the sales department, reach out to a hotel concierge, let them know what you're planning, let them know your date. Set a budget, be prepared to pay for those services. We're here to help create a meaningful proposal. We want to be a part of that, of your history. We're here to help. It's all about setting appropriate expectations, communicating, and making sure that you choose the right hotel.
I will show you. This is a very picturesque hotel, so if you want to be proposed to or propose, definitely think about the Sound. And then wrapping up, what's one thing that you just wish all guests knew that would make your lives all easier here at Sound or any other hotel that's there?
Again, we want to take care of the guests. We want you to be happy and have a memorable stay. We want you to come back. We wish we could accommodate all requests. Unfortunately, we're not able to. So set realistic expectations. Don't expect an upgrade just because you requested one. We'll do our best to deliver. With reward programs, we upgrade and take care of our loyal guests first. If you are taking a red eye and you're arriving to your destination early in the morning and your expectation is to check in early to the hotel, check with the hotel prior to arrival. The hotel may be sold out the night before. If that's the case, those guests in those rooms that are occupied are in those rooms until 12 noon at least, and then they have to be cleaned and inspected. So that's why we set our check-in times at 4 o'clock. We need time for the guests to depart the rooms, for our housekeeping team to get in there and clean the rooms, and for our housekeeping team to come in and inspect those rooms prior to making them available for you. We'll always gladly store luggage and contact you when those rooms are available. But again, if you know you're arriving early, you may want to book your arrival date the day prior so that you know that room is guaranteed for you when you arrive off your red eye at 8 o'clock.
Awesome. So plan ahead, everyone.
And communicate.
That's right. Communicate. Be a decent person.
Feedback is a gift.
Exactly. I just want to say thank you, Bryan.
My pleasure, Richard.
And thanks to Sound Hotel. Definitely go follow them on their social media platforms. And this has been an etiquette video on hotel etiquette. We'll see you next time. Like and subscribe.